I know you're all completely shocked. Another day, another Sweet Baby Inc. backed company is going up in flames. This time, Heart Machine, the company behind Hyper Light Drifter and the upcoming Hyper Light Breaker, has announced a serious round of layoffs, leaving an undisclosed amount of employees out on the streets right before the holidays. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And hot off the heels of me reporting that Sweet Baby Inc. backed company, Reflector Entertainment, the people behind Unknown 9, another company is now going through heavy layoffs right before the holidays. And at some point, you gotta start asking why. What is the common denominator with all of this stuff? Oh, it's Sweet Baby Inc. behind them. That seems like a pattern. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out SmashJT.com for the full article breaking down now the latest company going through layoffs right before the holidays, Heart Machine, and how their game is still supposedly on track coming out in 2025. They're just gonna be cutting some staff because they see the writing on the wall. Initially breaking from GameIndustry.biz, Heart Machine is going through a round of layoffs, and it's a troubling trend within Sweet Baby Inc.'s portfolio of associated studios. It really makes you wonder how much longer this can go on. Heart Machine confirmed to game developer that a portion of its workforce has been let go, and the specific departments and number of affected employees remains unclear at this time. But based on my brief research on LinkedIn, I found a number of people that are actively now looking for jobs that formerly worked at Heart Machine. Brianna Cruz, a executive assistant, went on LinkedIn and said, "I was laid off from my first games industry job yesterday. While it's a huge disappointment, I'm so grateful to have finally broken into the industry and feel lucky that my first experience was with a company as great as Heart Machine. Wishing all the best to the remaining team and to my fellow coworkers who were also affected by the layoffs. I'm looking forward to the next chapter and am searching for an associate producer and production coordinator roles. If you have any leads/referrals for jobs or recruiters, please send them my way. Any help is much appreciated. Thank you in advance." Now, I can't help but look at this and smile a little bit that they got laid off as an executive assistant, and they're trying to parlay that into failing upwards to an associate producer or a production coordinator role. It's just fascinating how the minds of some of these people works. John DeRiggi, a senior character artist, said, "Like many in the games industry lately, myself and some other Heart Machine co-workers were unfortunately laid off yesterday. Big thanks to Alex Preston for the opportunity to create super fun characters for Hyper Light Breaker over the past 4 years. Wishing my whole team lots of luck finishing out the early access release of the game. Looking forward to seeing it out there. I'm up for the next chapter where I can bring more stylized characters to players around the world in a remote role. I can offer 18 plus years experience in helping to define character art style and pipeline, driving hero character creation, and often leading small teams in games across a variety of genres, platforms, and engines. Some past work includes Hyper Light Breaker, Knockout City, along with properties for Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and Oculus VR. Any reshares, leads, referrals, or connections to trusted recruiters are much appreciated. Thank you in advance." Sol Brennan, a former senior technical character artist at Heart Machine, said, "I got laid off. Gutted. I loved Heart Machine. They were good to me. My only regret is that I couldn't stay. Character rigor of 12 plus years, 2 GDC talks, 1 Noman talk, Vest nominee, etc. Spider-Man PS4, The Order 1886, Hyper Light Breaker experience with AAA Indie, VR, etc. Please reach out if you have anything or know of anything." Now, to the studio's credit, they preemptively tried to mitigate any of the backlash from this layoff by announcing that all impacted employees would be receiving severance packages, healthcare coverage for several months, and credit in future projects. Additionally, the studio has pledged to honor revenue sharing agreements for the laid off staff, assuming there is any. Now, that's not all bad news. That's actually a really good thing for the people that were let go, so at least there's something good to come out of this for them. And typically, I'd like to say I hope they land on their feet, But then you see the types of people that were employed at this company, and it's just a woke fest. Like every single one of these people, pronouns, pink, blue, dyed hair, nose rings, like all of them fit the description of everything we've been saying that's wrong with the industry for so long. So it really shouldn't come as a surprise that, yeah, of course they're associated with Sweet Baby Inc. And of course the studio is failing. Yi Zhang, the community and PR manager for Heart Machine, went on LinkedIn a few days ago, all pissed off at the professional gaming environment, saying, y'all, I'm tired of these corporations running the world, yet being completely out of touch with the needs of ordinary people in an industry that is bleeding. Make it make sense. Like, oh, be still, my heart. The whole industry is against us. We're just trying to make these games and people don't want to hire us. Maybe it's just because, I don't know, you're not talented enough and no one wants to hire people that aren't talented enough. Maybe that's what would make sense. I know it kind of sounds heartless, but that's the reality of the business world. She went on to address concerns about the studio's upcoming release, Hyper Lightbreaker, with GameIndustry.biz, stating that the layoffs will not impede the game's early access launch, saying, in fact, a strong and timely launch will rekindle opportunities for those affected as we look to evolve and grow the game through early access. So they're laying off people and then saying that those people that got laid off are going to have some rekindled opportunities because the game's going into early access? Why are you letting them go then? That doesn't make any sense. This whole development comes at a particularly critical time as Reflector Entertainment, another Sweet Baby Inc. affiliated studio, recently went through massive layoffs as well that I covered in a previous video. And you start putting these things together all at the same time and you gotta wonder, what's the common denominator? Sweet Baby Inc. positions themselves as a champion of diversity and inclusion in gaming, but their track record of backing underperforming studios and fostering instability is really anything but successful. Everything they touch turns to shit. Heart Machine's layoffs are yet another blow to Sweet Baby Inc.'s image, especially considering that they emphasize on creating equitable workplaces. Doing some research on the workplace that is Heart Machine is anything but equitable. These are all the same tried and true NPC people with the blue hair, nose rings, super woke, pronouns in bio, hate Twitter, hate Elon Musk, go into blue sky, all the generic stuff we're used to. All these people, while they all look a little bit different, color their hair differently, put nose rings in different, have different styles of nose rings, have different styles of hair, they all think exactly the same. There is no diversity of thought. And this isn't an isolated incident either, not even close. It's part of a larger pattern that we're seeing happening in the game industry, where layoffs are becoming increasingly common, often at the worst possible time for the employees. And while the severance in healthcare is commendable, they don't come close to replacing any kind of job stability or the morale-crushing impact of being let go right before the holidays. And it all goes back to, I hate to say it, hiring the right people, making sure the people you bring in aren't just wild colored hair and have nose rings, but actually have a passion for gaming and moving it forward. And instead of having political and social and ideology agendas that they try to push forward, come in for the right reason. Come in because they have a passion to make the best game possible, and that is the only thing going on upstairs when they show up to work. All of this kind of feels like the chicken or the egg situation when it comes to what the problem is with Sweet Baby Inc. backed studios. Is it Sweet Baby Inc.'s fault, or is it the insane amount of woke employees that these corporations continue to hire time and time again with the same exact groupthink, for some reason thinking that it's just going to work out because they all think exactly the same way? Whatever the problem ends up being, whether you just want to blame it on Sweet Baby Inc.'s death touch or people in HR that just hire people that look the same, act the same, think the same as they do, whatever the reason, at the end of the day, it's not helping these companies. Reality is hitting them, and it's hitting them hard. And I shouldn't say anyone's really surprised at this point because it's what we've been saying from day one. These companies cannot be successful on virtue signaling alone. They have to have a main goal, a priority, a game with a great idea that pushes the industry forward and makes people want to jump on board to play the game. If it's just going to be generic and pushing an ideology in it, no one's going to want anything to do with that. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys want more information, check out smashjt.com for the full article. Again, shout out to GameIndustry.biz for breaking this story. If you guys appreciate what I'm doing, hit that join button. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.
As usual, GDC is extremely out of touch and prohibitively expensive and inaccessible to basically every normal person in the games industry.
Smash, J, smash, J.